Noah Lyles won a bronze medal yesterday in the 200 meters whilst having COVID. And this past Sunday, he won the 100 meters, which is one of the most prestigious events in the Olympics. Pretty damn impressive, right? And I get that he was the favorite for the 200 meters. However, most of us can't get out of bed when we have COVID, and he managed to land a bronze medal and be third fastest in this competition. And here's the strange part about this whole story. It turns out that a lot of his fellow compatriots were actually hoping that he would lose. Let's check out some of the comments on Twitter. So we got Brandon here. Noah Lyles might be the first American athlete in the Olympics that I actively want to lose every event. Not very patriotic if I do say so myself. And what about this one from Reddit? And this was one of 4 articles that this US citizen had written about Noah. This calmed down quite a lot when he won the 100 meters. It makes sense. He got a gold medal. He silenced his haters to a degree. But of course, they came back at the opportunity that they had when he got the bronze medal, when he was expected to win the gold. Here are a few comments that I found on his Instagram. He got embarrassed. That showboating prior was unnecessary. All of a sudden, he has COVID. I can tell you what he don't have, and that's a gold in his 200-meter race that he said was his race. And finally, nah, he crumbled because of his ego and arrogance. It pays to be humble, pure excuses. So don't get me wrong, a little bit of fight talk before any sport or any event completely makes sense. However, when you're rooting against your fellow countrymen in a competition where you're competing against other nations of the world, that's the part that didn't make too much sense to me. And it turns out that this began based on a press conference that he did in 2023. Let's take a look.
You know, the thing that hurts me the most is that I have to watch the NBA finals and they have world champion on their head. World champion of what? The United States? Don't get me wrong. I love the U.S. at times, but that ain't the world. That is not the world. We are the world. We have almost every country out here fighting, thriving, putting on their flag to show that they are represented. There ain't no flags in the NBA.
So it began to make sense, and the reality is the initial backlash actually came from the NBA players themselves. Here's a few comments from the post on Instagram. Somebody help this brother. I don't know the handles of these NBA players, but I understand that one was Kevin Durant. We've got, when being smart goes wrong, put his brain in a bird and then the bird will start flying backwards. Whatever, I'm smoking buddy in 200 meters. So you can see they weren't very happy and he got a lot of backlash for it. And it didn't stop at the NBA players. Even Drake decided to get involved and said the following. He thought this speech was going to be so hard in the mirror the night before. Now the whole league doesn't rate you. And then of course thereafter it came from a ton of comments from NBA fans, Americans, and it just kept snowballing from there. So it begs the question, is all of this Noah Lyles hate really necessary? And the answer is very black and white to me. It's absolutely not. And let's break this down. Let's go for the facts. What does the NBA actually stand for? It stands for National Basketball Association. National, not international, national. And it's comprised of 29 teams from the United States and 1 team from Canada. So it doesn't really make sense when it's only the USA and 1 team from Canada participating. And here's an even better question. What are Team USA, the basketball team, gonna call themselves if they win their gold medal match on Sunday? If the Boston Celtics are the current champions of the world, what does that make the USA? Champions of the planet? Champions of the universe? Champions of the I don't know? Sounding very Space Jammy to me. So the main justification from these NBA players was that all these international players from around the world would come to teams in the US and participate in the NBA. And that is completely true. However, it's a terrible argument. I'm from the UK, I'm from England, we watch a lot of football, and we debatably have, and I'm gonna be biased and say we have the best football league in the world, the English Premier League, which similarly to the NBA is comprised of national teams, English teams, and sometimes, a couple of Welsh teams. It rarely happens, but generally it's all English teams. And just like the NBA, talent from all around the world play in the English Premier League, debatably some of the best players in the world as well, to the point where most teams, they only actually play maybe 2, 3, 4 English players in their starting 11 squad. And what do they call the champions of the Premier League? The champions of England. What do they call the champions of La Liga in Spain? The champions of Spain. Same with Germany and the Bundesliga, they call them the champions of Germany. However, when these players go and represent their countries in the World Cup, if they are fortunate enough to win that, which England haven't been for a very long time, then they call them the champions of the world. Just like they do for the athletes in the Olympics, because they represent their country and they compete against other countries. So if you don't like Noah for his boisterous attitude and his off and on track antics, that is completely up to you. You are entitled to your opinion. However, you actually raised a pretty good point, and I think it hurt the ego of a lot of NBA players, which is why it caused such an uproar. No one is taking away the fact that winning the NBA is quite an extraordinary feat. Even if you make it into the NBA, that is pretty damn impressive. But that doesn't mean we need to give them a title that's actually inaccurate. Unfortunately, it wasn't all hate. I would say mainly outside the USA, I think a lot of people got his point, and actually he gained a few fans off the back of that. And I trust there's a lot of people in the USA that actually feel the same as well, and they actually get the point that he was making. And of course, since then, he's gone on to win 2 medals. And I get he was supposed to win the 200-meter race, but at the same time, 2 Olympic medals in this stage of his career, when I believe he's still got time to improve, is pretty damn impressive. Yes, he's a controversial figure. Yes, he has some strong opinions, but he made a very good point. I have a good feeling that we're going to be seeing a lot more of Noah in the future, and we're certainly going to be hearing a lot more from him too. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and you can be one of the special ones who can say, I was here first. Comment your thoughts down below, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.